So for our software design project, we decided to do War, a simple card game. Hi, I'm Troy. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I was the lead coder for this game.
My name's Blake. I am an undecided engineer major, and my job was kind of behind the scenes work where I would work on the website, make sure everything was uploaded to the website, also while helping on other areas where needed.
My name is Jordan. I am a mechanical engineering major, and I was the assistant coder. I would help Troy if he had any issues, and I would also help Blake if he needed anything else done behind the scenes. So for project goals, this software design project is to obviously create a game and be able to have the game repeat itself if someone wants to continue playing. Secondly, you want to be able to work well in groups. So teamwork is a big aspect of this project, and you want to be able to make a game that's fluid while working with your team. And that's basically it for project goals.
Alright, so the steps to making War we learned how to load and display a card deck first off, so we could end up properly running the game. Then after that, we learned how to display the next card and choose a winner between those two cards. After that, we found how to assign values to those cards. Then we coded in our rules and our comments, and lastly, we added in a new ability to restart the game.
So we made the game very smooth running, and it's very simple to play while still being very fun. You can end at any time or start up at any time, which makes the game played very flexible. And it also is very portable, where you don't always need a deck of cards. You're going to need a computer and the program, but you can take that wherever you go. Once again, it's a classic card game that can be played without cards. And finally, a two-player game that you can play alone, which means that you're not going to have another person, and it's, like I said, it's going to be more portable, more flexible, so you can play it whenever you want. And we also interviewed a potential user of this game to find out what we needed to do better, and he said that what we needed was a capability to end the game early, whereas if you were losing or you were getting bored or you were winning too mad, you could end the game, check your score, and get on to the next game and restart.
Alright, so we have some functions in our game. Random perm shuffles our cards. ImShove shows our cards. fprintf will print out anything we need printed out during the game. Pause, we use pause to hold and wait before the figure closes with the next function, which is close all force. And then input is used to receive player information so that the game can be played properly. Our variables, we have variables to draw, variables to end the game, variables for the player and computer score, our card deck, which is a variable in its own. We have a value to keep advancing to the next card. We have shuffled decks that are values. We have a Y and an N for yes and no on if the player wants to play again or not. And then we have the deval, which is used to value our cards.
So for the loops in our game, we had one big while loop that said for k is less than 52, the game's going to keep continuing and the while loop is still going to be in play. And under that we had an increment of k equals k plus 1, which means that every time you draw a card, k is going to increase by an increment of 1. And therefore you're going to draw, you get 1, draw another is 2, all the way up until you get to 52, where then it breaks the while loop, being the whole deck of cards, and your game is going to break out.
So conclusions for this assignment was we were able to actually create a game that functioned well and was able to be restarted and played multiple times without any errors. Secondly, we were able to work in a team fluidly, like I said before. The structure of our team was really helpful, with having one person code and then someone helping that, and then having the other work for the person to work on the website. That made it very smooth for us, and if someone wanted to do something else, we would be able to swap their role with someone else.
So if we were given the chance to make this game again and try and make it better, we would try and make it play just out of the figure window as opposed to the command window to make it more simple. We're not going to have to force quit the figures. It can just remain in the figure window, which makes it a lot more simple to play. We could also try and create different difficulties, such as making it easier, harder, or just keeping it normal. So that way, if you're winning a lot and you're tired of winning, you can choose to go to a harder difficulty and maybe stack the deck more in favor of the computer's hand. Or if you're losing, you can restart the game, and then you can change the difficulty to easier so you get the better cards, and that way if you want to feel like a winner, you can get more wins and play that way too.
So for our references, we use the .mat file that was provided to us on the PDF of the software design project that gave us a vector or a matrix that gave us card values to be assigned to the other cards in the deck. We also use that deck from the software design project PDF, as well as the IMShow function to allow us to display these cards to the user so it's not too confusing to play the game.
Alright, so as you see here, we start with our opening phase of the game of war, and you're given two options, to draw or end. Now, if you look above, right about here, you see that there are 4 commands to draw and 3 commands to end. So we'll start out and we will draw. And once you press enter, it'll load cards on. I just won that round, so it gave me 1 point. And since we're using 2 decks, it's counting down from 52 to tell us how many turns we have left. Now, let's say I want to end early. I can press E. Now it'll end it. So I hit enter. Now it asks me if I want to play again. I can say yes. And what it does is it resets our card values to point values to 0, and it resets our turn counter. Now if I want to draw again, the cards are completely different from that first set. So it randomly shuffles it each time, and you do not have the same card each time you play a round. Now let's say I want to completely end. I'll hit end, or E, hit enter, and then instead of saying yes when it asks do I want to play again, I will click no. And as you see now, it shows that you won, what your final score was, what the computer's final score was, and it says thank you for playing our game, along with giving credits for who did what for this game. I hope this demonstration is very helpful in your usability of this game. Thank you. Thank you for watching our presentation. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you will play our game someday.